and ordered him to drive to a remote pump station, the burial site of his victims. In a chilling moment, Dexter forced Donovan to confront the remains of the boys he had killed.
Open your eyes and look at what you did!
Terrified and pleading for his life, Donovan begged for understanding, but Dexter had absolutely zero sympathy. Dexter sedated Donovan with a syringe and prepared his kill room at the pump station. After securing him to the table and taking a blood slide as a trophy, Dexter ended Donovan's life by cutting his neck with a reciprocating saw. Later on, we see Donovan's wife visiting Miami Metro, distraught over her husband's disappearance. Watching her from a distance, Dexter reassured himself that he had been meticulous, leaving no trace of his involvement. The encounter reinforced his belief in the necessity of his code, but it also drew the attention of Detective James Doe, who questioned Dexter's unsettling interest. Donovan's death set the stage for the rest of the show. I personally found this scene terrifying when I first watched it. I thought I was about to watch 8 seasons of complete horror. Jaworski, a sadistic parking valet who turned his access to cars and personal information into opportunities for heinous crimes, was the second person Dexter killed. Jaworski presented himself as a harmless valet, but in reality, he was a predator who stalked, raped, and murdered women, recording his acts as snuff films for his twisted website. His guilt was undeniable, with a tattoo on his arm matching one visible in the snuff films. However, due to a legal technicality, a faulty search warrant, Jaworski evaded justice in court, leaving Dexter to step in where the system had failed. On the night of the kill, Jaworski was trespassing on a construction site to steal copper piping when Dexter confronted him. With his signature methodical precision, Dexter showed him a photo of his last victim, James Saunders, before sedating him with M99. When Jaworski awoke, he found himself restrained on Dexter's makeshift kill tape, and even in the face of death, Jaworski arrogantly admitted to his crimes without remorse.
House, bro?
No, I'm not sorry either.
Dexter, unimpressed, decapitated Jaworski with a cleaver in a swift and merciless execution. It's meticulous up the scene while casually speaking to Rita on the phone, perfectly highlighting the show's central theme, a serial killer thinking of life. Jaworski's death delivered a grim sense of justice for his victim, solidifying Dexter's role as a vigilante killer. The third person we see him kill is Matt Chambers, a repeat offender whose reckless behavior and refusal to take responsibility had left a trail of devastation behind him. Chambers was no stranger to tragedy. He had been involved in multiple drunk driving incidents, causing the deaths of multiple people. Yet through manipulation and fake remorse, he had escaped justice each time, slipping through the cracks of the legal system. His ability to provide
How fucking dog shit are you?
he decided to intervene where the law had failed. Dexter tracked Chambers to a bar, where, funnily enough, observing him drinking heavily, showing no signs of guilt or restraint. After ensuring his guilt, Dexter followed Chambers to an abandoned place. He ambushed him, sedated him, and wrapped him in plastic. Chambers awoke to find himself chained to a table, confronted by Dexter's cold, methodical approach to justice. Despite Chambers' attempts at defiance, he didn't believe in himself.
How you doing?
Right before a trip. Like that SPF moisturizer that you can't sun without. DoorDash has all the beauty products you need ready to go. And speaking of ready to go, don't you need to get to the airport?
It's not a thing.
It is a thing.
No thing. You're making it a thing by calling it a thing.
I am definitely not making it a thing. It is already a thing that exists, and I'm putting it out. I know what you're doing.
Lives under the guise of mercy. Mary worked as a nurse during a time when Dexter's adoptive father, Harry Morgan, was hospitalized for heart disease. She would inject her patients with fatal doses of morphine mixed with unknown drugs, rationalizing her actions as a way of relieving their suffering. Her crimes went unnoticed until Harry realized that he was her next target. Facing the imminent threat to his own life, Harry gave Dexter the green light to intervene, marking Dexter's first human kill. Dexter meticulously prepared a room in Mary's home, covering it in plastic and donning his makeshift kill suit. When Mary arrived, she found herself overpowered and restrained on Dexter's table. Confronting her with the scrapbooks of obituaries she kept as trophies, Dexter forced her to acknowledge the twisted satisfaction she derived from her actions. Despite Mary's protest that she was helping her victims, Dexter coldly echoed her words back to her.
It's time to take away your
What followed was a chaotic, brutal scene as Dexter repeatedly stabbed her, blood spraying across the room as he carried out the kill. Dexter disposed of her remains in the Everglades, leaving no trace of her death. The police never investigated her disappearance or uncovered her crimes, allowing the world to remain oblivious to the justice that Dexter had served. This moment shaped Dexter's careful approach to killing, showing him the importance of planning and control. It also deepened his bond with Harry, whose life was saved because of the kill, highlighting Dexter's role as a protector guided by his code. Number 5 and number 6 on this list were Jorge and Valerie Castillo, wealthy Miami couple, but were ruthless human smugglers. They exploited Cuban immigrants, extorting money and drowning those who couldn't pay. Dexter's investigation into a missing Cuban man made him suspicious of the couple when he discovered dirty mattresses and clothing in a large garage where people had been held captive, leading him to suspect the Castillos were killing their victims. His suspicions were confirmed when he found the bodies of drowning victims in Jorge's boat's fish tank, their deaths masked as tragic accidents. Setting a trap, Dexter lured Jorge to an Airstream trailer in the salvage yard, where photos of their victims lined the walls. After subduing him with M99, Dexter prepared to act, but Valerie's unexpected arrival disrupted his plans. Seeing her cruelty towards the hostages, Dexter realized that she was equally guilty and quickly captured her too. Bound together, the Castillos justified their crimes as necessary for their pursuit of wealth and power. Their twisted bond briefly made Dexter reflect on his own fractured relationships and grapple with his sense of humanity, but their arrogance only strengthened his resolve.
How do you love each other? You're like me. You make it work. How?
He ended their reign of terror swiftly. As Dexter freed the trafficked captives, he remained unaware that a young boy had witnessed the murders. Fortunately, the boy believed that he had seen Jesus, not Dexter. Plot armor, I know, but we move on. Dexter disposed of the bodies in the ocean, believing their crimes had been erased. However, Valerie's body was later recovered and staged by his brother, the ice truck killer, threatening to expose Dexter's methods. To protect his secret, Dexter cleverly framed Jorge for Valerie's death, manipulating evidence to misdirect the police. This partner killing really showed Dexter's expertise as a serial killer, but the fact that he almost got caught demonstrated the dangers of bending the code too. Which brings me on nicely to the next batch of people that Dexter killed. In the 6th episode of the show, in a flashback, we see a series of people Dexter killed in his earlier years. Dexter, worried that his killing tools might have linked him to the Castillo investigation, disposed of everything that could implicate him at sea. Before tossing his blood slide box, he paused and reflected on his early days in a poignant flashback. We learned that he killed Alex Timmons, a Marine sniper who began to kill civilians after he was discharged.
Yes, I do. Is that what you believe?
Gene Marshall, an arsonist who burnt his victims alive.
Have you ever watched someone burn alive?
And Cindy Landon, a black widow who killed her husbands for money.
Fuck you if you let me go.
These flashbacks highlighted Dexter's extensive experience as a killer and how long he had been practicing his craft. They also emphasized his ritualistic tendencies as he savored the memory of his victim's death before ultimately disposing of the blood slide box. The 10th person on this list is Emmett Meridian, a seemingly compassionate psychiatrist who manipulated vulnerable women into taking their own lives. Meridian targeted his patients' insecurities and steered them towards suicide, leaving no physical evidence of his role. When his 3rd victim, Vanessa Gale, was found dead, Dexter uncovered the connection and decided to bring him to justice. Posing as a patient under the alias Sean Ellis, Dexter infiltrated Meridian's practice, using their sessions to gather evidence. Discovering the doctor's hidden camera recordings, Dexter confirmed his suspicions. Meridian was a psychological assassin, preying on powerful women under the guise of therapy. Once he had everything he needed, he revealed to Meridian the real reason why he was getting therapy. Dating.
I'm gonna tell you something that I've never told anyone before.
How old are you?
19?
Oh, 19. Do you have a boyfriend?
Okay. I'm a serial killer.
Awakening on the table, surrounded by his victims' photographs, Meridian was forced to face the consequences of his actions. Calm, yet resolute, Dexter thanked him for helping him uncover repressed memories of his own past, but reminded the doctor that actions have consequences. As Meridian lay wrapped in plastic, Dexter ended Meridian's race with precision to let his blood slide. It's funny how this episode was called Shrink Wrap. Meridian's death not only stopped him from killing more victims, but it also gave Dexter a parallel about his own psychological struggles, reinforcing his commitment to the code. Dexter Morgan's confrontation with Brian Moser, his biological father, infamous ice truck killer, culminating in a harrowing struggle. After Brian discovered Dexter Morgan, Dexter unraveled a twisted web of familiar secrets, discovering their shared traumatic past. Brian subsequently pinned their bond by luring Dexter into his murderous ideology, even proposing that they kill Deborah together to sever tie of Dexter's adopted life. Dexter, torn between loyalty to Deborah and the allure of an unfiltered bond with Brian, ultimately chose to protect his sister. After thwarting Brian's attempts to kill Deborah, Dexter set a trap to his apartment, dating and transporting Brian to his home. There, in a chilling parallel to Brian's Grandad, Dexter suspended his brother and engaged in exchange. Brian pleaded for Dexter to embrace his true self, but Dexter, resolute in adhering to everything, Dexter happened. In a final act of grim necessity, Dexter slit Brian's throat, arranging the scene to resemble suicide. Left to mourn alone, Dexter grappled with the tragedy of killing the one person who fully understood him, haunted by the memory of a brother who offered him freedom at a devastating cost. I know I'm going to be alone on this one, but I personally didn't like Brian that much, and was actually kind of happy Dexter chose Deb over him, and I hope that some of you guys agree with me. The next person Dexter killed was one of his most impressive targets, Lil Chino, a key member of the 29th Street Kings, terrorized Miami with his gruesome machete killings and signature teardrop techniques. Feared by many and seemingly untouchable by the law, Chino embodied terror himself. Dexter's interest in Chino intensified after the gang enforcer murdered Rafael Arenas and orchestrated the killing of Rafael's mother, Ava. Chino's goal to evade justice only strengthened Dexter's determination to stop him. The first confrontation ended in failure when Chino's quick strength allowed him to escape from Dexter's kills, leaving Dexter shaken and doubting himself. Determined to make things right, Dexter tracked Chino to a garage elevator. He was uninformed. This time, Dexter used his time to subdue him and transported him to a more secure location. Bound and unable to escape, Chino taunted Dexter, asking what he would leave behind. Dexter's reply was perfect.
What do you leave behind?
World without you.
He then drove a machete into Chino's chest, ending his reign of terror. Afterwards, Dexter disposed of Chino's body in the Gulf Stream. This kill restored Dexter's shaken confidence in his ability to use his code. However, in the long term, Chino's blood slide became part of the Bay Harbor Butcher investigation, linking Dexter to a growing network of victims and increasing the risk to his double life. The next name on this list was Roger Hayes, a smooth-talking car salesman and a complete liar of his suicidal life. Beneath his polished facade lay a violent predator who lured young women with charm before brutally raping and murdering them in their homes. Dexter drawn to Hayes after connecting him with two with killing the salesman's world under the guise of buying a minivan. Despite Hicks' win, Dexter obtained the DNA evidence needed to confirm Hicks as the killer. When Hicks targeted another woman, Dexter saw no choice but to act swiftly, intercepting him outside the dealership. That night, Hicks awoke on Dexter's kill table in the home of one of his victims, and Cole. At first, he tried to fight his way through the situation, which was honestly one of the funniest kill scenes of the show.
The manager, they do what I say.
The manager's name is Rick Buxton.
Well, yeah, but I think there are a lot of he has.
You've been there 3 months.
The other lot.
However, his mask soon slipped as he insulted Rita, calling her a vile name.
You're better off without that gun.
With a grim surgery motion, Dexter plunged the knife into Hicks' chest, silencing him for good. The aftermath was clear. The violent predator was gone, and Dexter's connection with Rita had been solidified by the impulse of on. I'd love to say more about Hicks' impact on Dexter, but he really was just another killer. By the way, also if you're enjoying the video at this point, why not consider subscribing? Impulse, the 14th person Dexter killed, was an amateur trying to emulate the Bay Harbor Butcher, but his sloppy attempts at vigilantism angered Dexter. Also, a minor criminal with 2 kills to his name has started targeting victims for personal reasons, using crude methods that barely benefit. That merely mimic Dexter's particular precision. His latest attempted murder a petty burglar under the guise of a Britain's MO, leaving the intended victim alive to report Olsen to the police. After Olsen found insufficient evidence, Dexter tracked him to his home. Catching him off guard, Dexter subdued Olsen and confronted his shallow motivation. Olsen expressed admiration for him, even recognizing him as the real Bay Harbor Butcher, but I don't think he realized what that meant for him. Olsen awoke, found in a makeshift kill room inside of a train car. Ironically, the same location where he tried to stage his failed kill. Dexter lectured him on the principles of his code, emphasizing Olsen's lack of purpose and skill. With surgical efficiency, Dexter decapitated Olsen, leaving his dismembered remains for law enforcement to discover. Olsen's death sent a clear warning to would-be imitators. The Bay Harbor Butcher would not tolerate copycats. Long-term, Olsen's death reinforced Dexter's sense of control over his identity, while providing a chilling example of what happens when someone tries to imitate the dark passenger's twisted craft. The next person Dexter killed was Esmeralda Gibbs. Years earlier, Jimenez, under orders from Hector Estrada, had brutally dismembered Dexter's mother with a chainsaw in a shipping container, leaving a young Dexter and Brian Moser in their mother's blood for 2 days. It made them both killers. Decades later, Jimenez had managed to avoid justice, running a bar in Naples and operating as a low-level drug dealer under the illusion that his crime got him. Driven by rage, and encouragement from Lila, Dexter dragged Jimenez to his bar and eventually an isolated cabin in Everglades. There, Dexter subdued him in 99 and tied him to a table, kind of recreating the very circumstances of his mother's murder. Jimenez was attempts to bargain and intimidate Dexter with the fire of rage. Poetic justice, Dexter used the same tool Jimenez had used to end his life. Dexter's death marked a turning for Dexter, as it was the first time he confronted his past array. However, it also triggered a chain of events, including James Jones' Butcher's blood supply, ultimately leading to the unraveling of Dexter's fragile control over his stubborn life. The next person that Dexter killed was arguably the most Jose Garza was far from just another name in Dexter's meticulous pursuit of justice. His presence was a direct threat to Dexter's carefully concealed secret. A drug trafficker operating under the alias Christopher Harlow, Garza's connections to the Jimenez brought him dangerously close to Dexter's cabin in the Everglades, where James Dotes was in prison. Tension rose as Garza, desperate to locate his missing cocaine shipment, unknowingly communicated with Dexter via Jimenez's phone. When Garza threatened to visit the cabin, Dexter lured him to a meeting at Jimenez's bar. Though the interaction wasn't shown on screen, the aftermath was shown. Dexter returned to the cabin with an unconscious Garza, his next victim, and an absolute barbarian. He threw him in front of a forest. Hell, even
I get that, but this is some serious man. You need help. Let me help you.
Don't worry, Sergeant. I won't let you watch. I'm not on the block.
Morgan, no! Morgan!
With calculated precision, Dexter used a power saw to dismember Garza, leaving his remains as evidence to frame Dotes as the Bay Harbor Butcher. For Dexter, the kill was a necessary move to maintain control and neutralize the threat of being exposed, but the moral toll on him and the psychological strain on Dotes deepened. Garza's death was a turning point in Dexter's story, solidifying the frame against Dotes while forcing Dexter to grapple with the moral complexities of his code. It underscored the growing cost of maintaining a secret and sets the stage for explosive events. Literally, Juan Ramos was another kill with flashback. After Dotes told Dexter to stay safe, it reminded him of when his father said the same thing. The confrontation took place in a secluded spot, set up as a makeshift kill room. Dexter, still learning, methodically executed Ryan's and dismembered his body, believing it would make Harry proud. But when Harry arrived and saw the aftermath, his reaction was far from supportive. Overwhelmed by the gruesome reality, Harry was shaken to his core, even vomiting at the sight. This moment marked a turning point for both Dexter and Harry. Dexter, confused by Harry's revulsion, began questioning the morality of his actions, even though he was following the code. Harry, burdened by the decisions, was deeply haunted, ultimately leading to his suicide moments later. Ryan's death became a symbol of Dexter's dedication to code, but also revealed cracks in his moral foundation. Harry's disillusionment left a lasting imprint, forcing Dexter to confront the truth of what he had become. Justice and human failure. This internal conflict would shape his path and the relationships he built along his journey. The Formosa
LLC attorney. Our sole focus is providing our clients the best asset protection and privacy that Wyoming law will allow. We've been able to democratize the delivery of our services.
The brothers, Esteban and Teo, were drug smugglers who inadvertently found themselves in the crosshairs of Dexter Morgan. On a routine trip to recover cocaine from the Everglades cabin, once belonging to the same minutes, their paths collided with a desperate James Dope, who had just escaped from Dexter's makeshift prison. Dope's attempt to gain their assistance backfired when they knocked him unconscious, inadvertently setting the stage for their own demise. I really felt sorry for Dokes. I mean, he just escaped most of the dangerous serial killers in Miami. Just get knocked out by the cartel. I mean, I don't know if it was bad luck or just bad luck. Probably the latter. Captive, but also his fragile plan and a strategy. Using a signal to communicate with Dokes, Dexter crept into the cabin and eliminated Esteban. His death was marked by a gunning from inside. Armed with Esteban's gun, Dexter emerged in time to coordinate with Dokes, who distracted Teo by throwing cocaine in his face, allowing Dexter to fire their animosity to dispose of the bodies in the surrounding waters, ensuring the local alligator population was well fed. But soon, the relationship went back to normal. Dokes in a cage. Now, I'm not really sure if Dexter's killing these two broke Harry's Code. Those of you who've watched many of my other videos know that I left it out of my video on Harry's Code, but I am definitely like that. This ethical compromise foreshadowing the more complexity of Dexter's face, that the line between necessity and physical continued to blur in his attempt to break Dokes. The next person on this list is Lila West, a volatile and manipulative woman who once masqueraded as Dexter's narcotics anonymous sponsor. What began as an odd but seemingly harmless relationship soon escalated into something far from Lila, fascinated by the secret that Dexter possessed, believing that they were soulmates. Her fixation led her to commit murder and even target Dexter's love life. Lila's most heinous act came when she blew up the cabin holding Sergeant Dokes, killing him and ensuring that Dexter's secret was safe. Let me be
holy shit! Clip that!
Choosing to do this was
oh my god! I don't know if you dog shit or if I played like a fucking genius there.
That's a video for another
Spiders
day. After discovering Dexter's true nature, betrayed by his rejection, she abducted Rita's children, Aster and Tony, and locked them in her loft before setting it ablaze. Dexter narrowly rescued them, solidifying Lila's death on his table. When she fled to Paris to escape the chaos, Dexter tracked her down, determined to end her destruction. And then lying to her for his apartment, Lila realized too late that Dexter wasn't there to reconcile. With a single swift thrust to her heart, Dexter ended her life, ensuring that she could never harm another person again. Her death brought closure to a turbulent chapter of Dexter's life, but it also served as a reminder of the chaos that arises when his darkness intertwines with the lives of others. Now, as much as I hated Lila, I couldn't help but feel a bit sorry for her when it peeled down her face she bled out. The next person I have no sympathy for. Cal Rooney was another person Dexter killed in the flashback, although it's not exactly and there's not much to say on the guy. But he was a carnival who used his booth at the fair to gather personal details about patrons. Rooney would then later rob their homes, and on 2 occasions it was death. He told this through Dexter talking in riddles to his Moving on to Dexter's 22nd victim, the murder of Oscar Prado was a tragic phenomenon Dexter meticulously controlled the world and central to the plot of season 3. As the younger brother of Miguel and Ramon Prado, Oscar was a youth center coach with a darker side. Grappling with the Dexter encountered Manuel targeting Rita, a drug dealer that Dexter had marked for investigation. The situation spiraled out of control. Dexter a violent competition. Oscar was the unit out. Trevo fled, leaving Oscar to question Dexter, Dexter fatally stabbing him with the very knife that Oscar had wielded. The aftermath was particularly jarring for Dexter, who realized that he had broken Harry's code by killing someone without confirming their guilt as a murderer, and it was one of the first times
that is something wholly inside on the outside.
The incident deeply impacted Dexter, prompting him to attend Oscar's wake to learn more about the man that he had accidentally killed. Discovering Oscar's drug use and death to Freebo gave Dexter some comfort, though it was a rare moment where his confidence wavered. This event foreshadowed Dexter's complicated relationship with the Prado family and hinted at a small but significant crack in his moral code. Fred Bowie, better known as Freebo, was a small-time drug dealer.
Because Twitter.
Taurus
Twitter
SC
name,
provides
he's not
excellent
good.
coverage in the elimination of ant infestations. Containing the active ingredient fipronate, Taurus can control carpenter ants, crazy ants, radius house ants, sparrow ants, and more. We'll show you how easy it is to kill and prevent ants from returning using Taurus SC around the perimeter of the home or business. Taurus is a non-repellent insecticide, meaning it is undetectable to pests and insects. As a non-repellent, ants will crawl over the insecticide, picking up the active ingredient on their bodies and carrying it back to the colony. Once back in the colony, the exposed ant spreads and transfers the Taurus SC to other ants throughout the colony. This transfer effect means you'll start seeing the effect on ants in few days. Put on your personal protective equipment, including motorcycles, long pants, socks, closed-toe shoes, and gloves. Use Taurus SC. Fill a 1-gallon sprayer 1 to 1/3 full of water while wearing your PPE. Then add 0.8 ounces of Taurus to the sprayer. Place it on the sprayer and shake to mix. Finish filling the sprayer with water to make one finished spray solution. Close the sprayer lid and shake well to finish it. Except in the state of California, Taurus SC can be applied 4 times per calendar year.
I literally only
using a
lost some because I
0.5
was
ounce.
leaning back, bro. If I lock in on these shitters, bro, I win.
Was a
Hair in
small-time
my eyes, bro. I
with
can't
a
play.
sinister track record, and the
Everything.
man Dexter actually meant to kill. Known for his role in the deaths of 2 college girls, Freebo evaded justice due to a technicality in a warrant, making him a prime target for Dexter's brand of justice. Dexter's first attempt to kill Freebo took an unexpected turn when he interrupted a fight between Freebo and Oscar Prado, resulting in Oscar's death, but this only intensified his resolve. Tracking Freebo to a hideout, Dexter set the stage for the kill Freebo. Freebo, bound to a makeshift kill table, began hyperventilating and panicking, probably like his victims.
That last time they got choked a lot out of them.
I was getting high. Sherry or Carrie, she said,
With precise brutality, Dexter ended Freebo's life by stabbing him with the same meaning that Oscar had used, completing the kill and chilling symmetry. The aftermath saw Miguel Prado catching Dexter red-handed, but shockingly thanking him for avenging his brother. Freebo's death cemented Dexter's uneasy alliance with Miguel and set off a series of events that would face. Nathan Martin was a photographer and Dexter killed the show. A convicted sex offender, his fixation on acid, Dexter's stepdaughter, exposed his true nature. Their first encounter in a grocery store sent Dexter's instincts into overdrive. Had to discover Martin's dark past. Despite the code of Harry advising against the kill, Dexter's fury boiled over when he caught Martin photographing Astor Beach, a competition at a cafe. That night, Dexter went to Martin's home and found a folder of photos of Astor. He strangled Martin with a rock.
That is the delay back.
The body,
That is the delay back
for
one.
his family, seamlessly slipping back into his role as a father. Though it violated the code, Dexter viewing Martin's death as necessary to protect his family. And I'm going to the next person Dexter's 2 wives to serve his fortune. His first wife's death was staged as a justice, while his second wife's death on a cruise in international waters shielded him from prosecution. When Miguel Prado shared the story, Dexter couldn't ignore the call for justice. The great ship bound for Bimini, Dexter observed the predator casually praying for women. Under the guise of a fellow traveler, Dexter bided his time before making his move. Sneaking into Turner's cabins, he subdued him with a needle and gun and improvised a wretched kill ritual. With no time to sink the moment, Dexter punched a knife into Turner's cabin, instantly.
I tried to get
Paradox personified. Taking life. Creating life.
Back on the shore, Turner's disappearance was written off as a tragic mystery, but Miguel Prado began piecing together the truth, suspecting Dexter's proceeding. The kill marked a
Whatever. You know?
See, the kill marked a turning point in Dexter and Miguel's partnership, setting the stage for a volatile alliance and ultimately a dangerous unraveling. Trigger's death was swift, but the repercussions led to deepening Dexter's more complexity and ultimately resulting in increased pressure on Miguel. Hudson Galt, a violent neo-Nazi murderer, was society that even prison walls couldn't contain. Convicted for armed robbery, but acquitted of his girlfriend's murder due to police intimidation, Galt continued orchestrating killings from the side, including the brutal slaying of a defective Spaniard. His crime placed him firmly on Dexter's personal enemies, making him a prime target for Dexter's twisted form of justice. With Miguel Prado eager to participate, Dexter saw Galt as the perfect target to discourage Miguel's involvement by appeasing him and then convicting him to stop. Using Miguel's legal connections, Galt was transferred to a Miami courthouse under minimal security, where Miguel baited him into escaping. Dexter, posing as an ally, intercepted Galt and subdued him with M99, transporting him to the very house where Galt had murdered his girlfriend. On the kill table, Galt protested his innocence, but Dexter already had absolute proof and was having none of it. He was silenced by a knife plunged into his chest. Dexter meant to share this moment with Miguel, but he didn't want to share the ritual. Galt's death solidified Miguel's growing fascination with Dexter's memory, escalating their dangerous alliance. And for Dexter, the fact that Miguel helped him set up his kill confirmed to him something exceptional. If you're enjoying the video at this point, then consider subscribing as it really helps out. Now, Camilla Fate was one of the few people in Dexter's both as a child and as an adult. Supervisor and minor veteran, Camilla has supported Dexter in subtle ways, often helping him obtain
Yo, turn down the TikTok, bro. Holy. All I heard is the TikTok, bro. I don't have a TikTok. I don't even have a TikTok. What are you talking about? I don't play Fortnite that much, but okay. I do play Valorant. Yeah, I do play Valorant for that one.
The next person on this list is Miguel Prado, one of the most complex and dangerous figures in drawing connection inside of justice. Started as a relationship based on fake trust, it turned into a
I can't even hear you, so I don't know why you're still talking, buddy.
By murdering innocent defense attorney Ellen Wolf. This act of defiance revealed Miguel's true nature. Miguel as a tool for his personal gain, rather than a justice. Miguel wanted scientists La Puerta, plotting to kill him and cover his tracks. Dexter realized the danger Miguel posed, not only to others.
Then I won't have to listen to your stupid TikTok.
Dexter Miguel trapped, but threw him with M99 and confronted him just like
hear you,
the victim. However, this
how to make someone think
chilling.
that you can't hear them and make them lose their power in an argument. Get this fucking guy out of here.
I killed my brother.
Bound and helpless, Miguel tried to manipulate Dexter with destiny. Dexter saw him.
How's it going?
Why did I give you this shit out of
Wait.
What are you talking about?
Saw through lies. As Dexter strangled him with a garrote, Miguel was adamant that it wouldn't be the end, but for Miguel, it was, ending a dangerous life. This was another emotional touch, as Miguel was one of the first people he considered a friend. But despite this, Dexter chose Miguel, reaffirming his unwavering commitment to the code. The next person on this list is George King, infamously known as the Skinner, a ruthless torturer, serial killer who terrorized Miami with his gruesome methods. King, a former military interrogator, became known for his victims alive, getting Dexter used his cruel methods for his own pleasure. His violent acts were disguised as a search for respect, but were really driven by his nature. He began to a drug dealer wrong. After Dexter killed Freebo, King intensified the search, leaving Skin victim. As his husband, King, turning his attention to Dexter, attempt to capture and kill him. The final confrontation at an abandoned warehouse, Dexter revealed the truth. Freebo was dead, and King's hunt was merely a cover for his stripped of control. King snapped, but Dexter managed to break free, despite a fractured hand. While eliminated in Dexter's status, his reign. Maintaining his tone. Personally, I think this was one of the most ridiculous scenes in the show. I mean, there's no way that Dexter should have gotten out of the situation, but somehow he did. I guess it's just his plot arc. King's demise closed a bloody chapter and also reaffirmed Dexter's massive shadows, if that makes sense. The next person on this list is Season 4's Benito Benny Gomez, a disgraced former boxer whose violent tendencies extended far beyond the ring. Known for savagely beating his victims to death, trail of dismembered bodies and shattered pockets. His acquittal in court due to Dexter's fatigue-induced mistake with evidence became the catalyst for his ultimate fate. Dexter's sense of justice was ignited as he tracked Benny to his infiltrated park, eventually luring him to a long-abandoned boxing arena. Once Dexter had him subdued, Dexter's ritual was interrupted by a call from Reed, requiring Dexter to rush home for Harrison's medication. With no time for ceremony, Dexter plunged the blade into Benny's chest, ending his reign of terror. This kill was definitely one of the strangest in the show, because it showed Dexter in a state of desperation to satisfy his dark urges. Watching the amount of pleasure he took from the ritual was both unsettling and also kind of amusing. After killing Benny Gomez, he rushed ritual, Dexter raced to get Harrison's medication, prioritizing family over his usual care. Exhausted, he fell asleep at the wheel, cracked, waking disoriented and unable to remember where he had hidden Benny's remains. Vulnerable and exposed, he retraced his steps, eventually recalling stashing the body in a punching bag. Relieved, he disposed of it at sea, realizing how his dedication to family was jeopardizing his secret life. The kill of Officer Zoe Cooper, a unintended killer who used her badge as a shield to report his crimes, was one of the best subplots in my personal opinion. After staging a home invasion to cover the murders of her husband and young daughter, Zoe returned to a role as a trusted cop. While her carefully constructed story didn't hold up to the scrutiny. Dexter first encountered Zoe through a suspicious blood spatter analysis, which hinted at her involvement. His investigation began as he uncovered damning evidence, a fragment of her nitrous glove taken to the scene. Zoe, sensing Dexter's interest, attempted to intimidate him, even confronting him. However, this only confirmed what Dexter already knew. Zoe was hiding behind him. The final confrontation came after Zoe broke into Dexter's home, ready to eliminate the one thing she couldn't control, but Dexter had anticipated her every move. After subduing her, he laid out her crimes in her daughter's bedroom, a chilling echo of her own actions. Zoe tried to justify her actions, claiming family life suffocated her, but Dexter saw her for what she was, a monster incapable of remorse.
You engage. No one's raping anyone.
Dexter ended Zoe's life, collecting his trophy and reaffirming his commitment to protecting his own family, no matter the cost. Zoe Cooper's death reminded Dexter of the evil people that can hide behind a normal life, strengthening his commitment to protecting his family and reinforcing his belief in the need for his dark code. The next name on this list is Jonathan Ferry, a controversial photographer whose penchant for grotesque and exploitative imagery earned him for a fire. Ferry's work often art and abuse, and when the severed arm of the surface, he became a prime suspect in his murder. Dexter, disturbed by Pharaoh's attitude during the fight, shift his focus away from which to do
What?
Player one of the biggest and busiest player-to-player marketplace built for gaming. Our marketplace can combine and sell online gaming players. We are the lead, keeping an eye out on all transactions, protecting our members from scams. Founded in 1999 by a group of gaming enthusiasts in Los Angeles, we've grown to become the leading platform for player-to-player trading, with 2.1 million users from over 100 countries. So, what can you buy or sell? Well, you've got 4 major products. Currency,
Mitchell to deal with this so-called artist. Pharaoh's studio became Dexter's hunting ground. Armed with evidence of blood and a fingernail embedded in the wall, Dexter was certain that Pharaoh was guilty. After abducting him from his home, Dexter confronted him in his own studio. Tied to a panel under glaring lights, Pharaoh pleaded his innocence, claiming his disturbing imagery was merely art.
Killed the string of Carasso. Who knows how many items? Did you fucking kill him?
But his words fell on deaf ears, and Dexter delivered justice with a cleaver, decapitating the man and disposing of his remains in the Gulf Stream. The immediate aftermath seemed routine until the next day, when Dexter learned that Pharaoh's assistant was the real killer. This revelation was shocking to Dexter's carefully built world. He had killed an innocent man, a moment that shook him to his core and forced him to confront the fallibility of his moral code. The 33rd person Dexter killed was Stan Beaudry, a long-haul truck driver with a violent past. Beaudry had escaped justice, murdering a prostitute was dismissed due to contempt. Dexter being scapegoat to frame perpetrators of murders, Beaudry's violent tendencies and transient lifestyle made him the perfect target. Dexter tracked Beaudry using a CB radio, finding him at a truck stop off I-55. Posing as the Chopper, Dexter quickly located his prey. He followed Beaudry to his truck, where he subdued him with a gear rod and prepared a makeshift kill room for training. Enraged and defiant to the end, Beaudry hurled threats at Dexter. But again, Dexter really wasn't trying. With precision, Dexter used a reciprocating saw to end Beaudry's life. His remains were dismembered and disposed of in Dexter's usual meticulous fashion. Dexter then planted evidence linking Beaudry's trinity, including Arthur Mitchell's DNA and personal items. When the police discovered the stage clues, Beaudry was labeled the prime suspect in the triple case. For Dexter, the prank job was a temporary success, but it only escalated tensions in his deadly game with Arthur Mitchell, leading to their fateful showdown, which briefly unlocked Dexter's biggest kill, Arthur Mitchell. Arthur Mitchell, infamously known as the Killer, was Dexter's most complex and formidable adversary, a monster hiding behind the mask of a suburban family man and a devout community volunteer. For over 3 decades, justice, using his meticulous techniques to hide, he concealed his murder. Drawn by the challenge of dismantling a killer who mirrored his own dual life, traded Arthur's world with alias giving to learn from Arthur's ability to maintain a family while indulging in his dark urges. The closer that Dexter died, the more he realized that Arthur's facade was cracked, revealing a controlling and abusive man who terrorized his family. Their deadly game culminated in a tense confrontation. After learning that Arthur discovered his true identity and targeted his family, Dexter tracked him down. While examining Arthur's garage, Dexter recalls the damaged Mustang and checks Arthur's wallet again. Inside, he finds a repair invoice from a local body shop, leading him to Arthur's fix. Later, Arthur retrieves his Mustang, confident that he's evading justice. Unbeknownst to him, Dexter had tampered with the car, removing the oil. As the vehicle breaks down the road, Arthur's sense of control crumbles. Seizing the opportunity, Dexter ambushes him and transports him to the bottom shelf, setting the stage for the final confrontation. The final confrontation unfolded with chilling precision. Dexter captured Arthur, secured him to his kill tree, and surrounded him with reminders of his victims. Arthur, ever defiant, dismissed his atrocities as part of God's plan, even as Dexter pierced through his delusions with a cold The last hammer blow in Trinity's reign of terror may also mark Dexter's darkest hour. After killing Arthur Mitchell, Dexter returned home to receive of unimaginable reward, freedom, life.
I was shocked to learn how much of my information is online. Name, full address, so much of my data, all out there for anyone to find. It's awful. Check out Optory. It can reduce phishing calls, prevent identity theft, even remove your home address from Google. So good. Optory is so solid. Its patented search technology finds data that no one else can find. Over 200 different brokers that all have data. Yikes. It can remove I just got my report back. I was shocked by how much data mine was online. Yikes. Check it out yourself. It's free to get the report. Going to love it. Check it out. It is completely free to get your report. You'll be shocked on how much of your data is out there. If it was, you're gonna love it.
flying lifeless in the bathroom, her blood swimming over the edge. The cries of his infant son, Harrison, led him to the bathroom, where he found the boy sitting in a pool of blood, a haunting echo of Dexter's own childhood trauma. Arthur's final act of revenge shattered any sense of victory, leaving Dexter overwhelmed with guilt and grief. In that moment, Dexter was confronted with the devastating cost of his dark double life and the irreversible damage it had caused, proving that even he could not shield his loved ones from the chaos he so carefully managed. Now at the halfway point, when the most shocking murders of the show was when Dexter killed Rankin as a way of coping with his devastating trauma of Reed's death. Dexter relied on the code of Harry to channel his violent into carefully planned actions, but in the wake of Reed's death, his emotions erupted, leaving him untethered and unpredictable. This eruption came to a head at a run-down bait shop, where Dexter encountered Rankin, a loud and abrasive man who unknowingly provoked him. When Rankin antagonized him in the restroom, Dexter, blinded by rage, no thought of preparation, Dexter brutally killed Rankin rapidly. A raw, unplanned act of violence that bypassed every principle of code. This impulsive murder revealed the depth of Dexter's emotional torment. For the first time, he killed without justification or control, driven solely by pain and anger, though he supposedly had emotions. This was a little bit funny. Rankin had absolutely no reason to be this horrible. Even though Rankin was technically innocent, I'm pretty sure that we were meant to feel sorry for Dexter and have no sympathy for Rankin. What do you think? One of the most significant kills in the series was the killed Bow, marking the start of his darkness with girl. A dead animal pickup officer by day and a ruthless murderer by night, Boyd was responsible for disposing of the game's victims, using barrels of and like the lives of those who had already been suffered. Dexter first crossed paths with Boyd while investigating a blood trail in a moving truck, which led him to Boyd's swampy dumping ground, where barrels containing human remains were secured. Dexter lured Boyd into a trap under the guise of job entrance, injecting him with M99 to subdue him. After a brief struggle where Boyd managed to tranquilize Dexter, the two wound up in the hospital. Boyd, resourceful, escaped first, only to walk into Dexter's hastily improvised at his home.
Fuck, I had him!
A justification Dexter's silence with a blade to the heart. The aftermath was anything but. Boyd's final victim, Leland Pierce, witnessed the murder, leading to an unexpected partnership and a romantic connection in Dexter's life, which led to the Lance Robinson and Ann Mandel's death unfolded in one of Dexter's most chaotic and improvisational nights, blending his ritualistic methods with raw and with Lance, a killer who gave men with sexual encounters only to murder them. Dexter, under the alias 10 inches of skin, arranged a meeting and prepared an RV as the killer. After incapacitating Lance with M99 wrapped him in plastic, Dexter was interrupted by a desperate who had just shot one of the rapist and he was Dexter hurried to a nearby warehouse, where he discovered a children dentist badly wounded when playing the role of an innocent family. As Dexter restrained, much of Dexter resolved told him, unsure if Dan was truly guilty. However, Dan's arrogance soon betrayed him.
Fuck, he phased through! I was going crazy with it, but fuck it, I'm about to shit him.
Meanwhile, the M99 blew off, and Lance escaped from Dexter's car. Still wrapped in plastic, a frantic chase pursued, with Dexter recapturing him just before he could discover the devil.
What? He didn't phase through? Now he phased through! No! Come on, shut up!
The scene looked like a murder-suicide, protecting both himself and me. When the police arrived, he had to convince his friends simply been the first to discover the crime scene. You think that Dexter's plot armor was too much sometimes? Be sure to subscribe. This chaotic series for this.
What? No, fuck this kid.
As they shared the
I'm gonna my analysis plays now.
However, he also highlighted the growing strain when them as the risk of his actions threatened to unravel his relationships and sense of control. As the hunt for the Barrel Girl game continued in season 5, the killing of Cole Harmon was the point of the show. Cole, a was honorably discharged from Queen, served as a head of security for the charismatic yet sinister Jordan Chase. His role extended far beyond professional freedom, and he became a sadistic participant in a gang's horrific crimes. Known for his violent tendencies and unwavering loyalty to Jordan, Cole inflicted unimaginable.
Look cute. What is wrong? I want to do for
leaving scars, both physical and emotional. For Dexter, eliminating Cole was not only necessary, but deeply personal, given his connection to Pearson's work. The couple in the Miami hotel room, where Cole recognized Lumen and attempted to silence her. He struggled her in a vicious attack. Dexter returned, Jordan's heart just in time, subduing Cole with his sleeper hold. Strapped to a kill table, Cole refused to cooperate, offering only mockery as Dexter demanded the names of his accomplices, telling him the names of Disney. Lumen watched with quiet resolve as Dexter broke the knife in Cole's heart, putting an end to his reign of terror. Dexter handed Lumen Cole's blood slide as a gesture of empowerment. This act marked the deepening of their partnership, Lumen finally finding justice for her suffering. Meanwhile, Dexter's kills solidified his determination to dismantle the gang, setting the stage for the ultimate confrontation with Jordan Chase, who Lumen ultimately killed. This concludes the chapter of Dexter and Lumen's complex dynamic, and I just want to say that Lumen was an exceptional character and an exceptional actress. I hope that at least some of you do. The next person who crossed paths with Dexter was Stan Liddy, a corrupt ex-narcotics officer who dug too deep into Dexter's secrets and paid for the ultimate price. Liddy, a disgraced cop desperate to regain his status, was hired by Joey Quinn to investigate Dexter. What began as a casual charge quickly escalated into an obsession, with Liddy using illegal surveillance equipment to monitor Dexter and Lumen. His determination paid off when he captured incriminating footage, but his arrogance sealed his fate. Liddy believed that he could use this evidence to blackmail Dexter into a confession, hoping that it would be his ticket back into the police force. The confrontation came to a head when Liddy tased Dexter, taking him to a docks. When Dexter restrained Liddy's footage and demanding a confession.
I don't give a shit like you. The police force back. When somebody like you,
However, underestimated Dexter proved to be fatal. But being bound, Dexter managed to kick him and wrestled the knife from his hand, driving it into the corrupt man's chest. But these final moments were filled with terror as he realized that he had pursued was far more dangerous than he imagined. He also destroyed the evidence and left Liddy's body alone, narrowly avoiding suspicion. Liddy's demise was a harsh reminder of the consequences of underestimating Dexter Morgan. And those of you who watched my other videos know why this is so significant. The next two victims on Dexter's list were Ben and Roger, corrupt paramedics who exploited their positions to harvest organs from patients they intentionally let die. Dexter carried out a dual killing to end their feast. As a injured man, Dexter lured the pair to a desolate location. When they arrived, ready to exploit what they assumed was a death victim, Dexter sprang his trap. Using his M99, he swiftly subdued them and dragged them into the ambulance they had used for their grisly operation.
There was blood!
The pair attempted to deny their crimes. Dexter, unmoved, turned their own equipment against them, stopping their hearts with the defibrillator that they had used to seal others' fates. The duo's deaths brought justice to their victims and highlighted Dexter's unwavering mission to target those who preyed on the vulnerable. It's also a pretty nice introduction in Season 6. A really interesting film of this series was Joe Walker, a former high school quarterback whose Jill once been married to Jenny Walker, a kind-hearted woman and a high school acquaintance of Dexter. Jenny was found dead before the reunion. The case was ruled a suicide, but Dexter, ever the skeptic, suspected foul play. Years later, their high school acquaintance presented Dexter a perfect opportunity to confront Joe. With the nostalgia and charm, Joe's dismissive attitude and lack of remorse for Janet's death set Dexter's blood void. Dexter continuously collected evidence confirming that Joe had the right to avoid a conflict. Solidifying his place shed, Dexter
SiriusXM is your place for everything NFL. Get live home and away radio broadcasts for
Ah, you got me!
24/7 coverage and analysis with the SiriusXM app. Download the SiriusXM app and get 30 days free. See all the details.
shed, Dexter overpowered Joe, rendering him unconscious. When Joe awoke, strapped to the kill table, Dexter laid bare his sins, including his shallow justifications for Jana's murder.
They do things that they should do, and they're only human. God.
Despite Joe's desperate proclamation of faith, Dexter irredeemable and delivered a swift and brutal end. Bloodshed with a sledgehammer before completing his ritual with a stab to the heart. Joe's disappearance caused little stir, but his death marked a profound moment for Dexter as he grappled with the questions of morality, faith, and justice. His execution of Joe was another step deeper into darkness, further blurring the lines between righteousness and vengeance. Also, Trisha Billing. Next on Dexter's list was Julio Valdez, a violent gang leader known for making people disappear. As the head of the Locos gang, Julio spread fear and chaos in Miami. He caught Dexter's attention after threatening Brother Sam, a ex-convict who Dexter became friends with. Julio's encounter with Brother Sam at the shop escalated quickly. Dexter stepping in to neutralize one of Julio's Sensing Dexter's authority being in law enforcement, Julio backed off to left a chilling reminder of his power, referencing the disappearance of Hector Nunez, a local barber who did provide. This admission was enough for Dexter to keep people, confirming Julio's guilt and sealing his fate. In a grim echo of Julio's own crime, Dexter's barbershop now transformed into a kill room and subdued. Trapped and restrained, Julio spewed threats, warning that his gang would avenge him. Dexter silenced him with certain precision, slashing his throat.
These monsters don't tend to live happily ever after.
Julio's death sentence stabilizing the grip on the community. But Dexter was another step in his exclusive quest for justice, a fairy tale ending. One of the most crazy parts of the show was Dexter's encounter with Walter Kinney, the tooth-bearing killer. Walter, once a terrifying serial killer who brutally murdered prostitutes, kept their lateral society had become a real bitter old man living in a Miami retirement village. He resurfaced with a botched murder near his Miami retirement home, which led Dexter to become suspicious of Walter and to start stalking him. At first, Walter was unaware of Dexter's true intentions. Dexter befriended him under the guise of curiosity and kindness, accompanying him on errands and even playing golf together. However, as Dexter pieced together Walter's identity, Walter grew suspicious. Realizing that Dexter worked for Miami Metro Homicide, Walter confronting him, pulling a gun and demanding answers. The tables turned when Dexter crashed the car, subdued Walter, and secured him in his own confinement. Walter, now aware of Dexter's dark side, mocked him, predicting that he would share the same miserable fate.
All I cared about was killing, and I can't even do that right in you. That's what you got to look for. This is your future, and it includes adult fucking
Dexter rejected his future, choosing to smother Walter with a pillow, erasing the killer's legacy, and ensuring Walter died an unremarkable death. Walter's demise served as a grim reminder of Dexter's potential future, forcing him to confront the emptiness of a life defined solely by killing. The next name on this list is Nick. Ex-convict, stayed with betrayed Brother Sam, Nick's paths crossed with Dexter's when Brother Sam, a reformed criminal and spiritual guide, took Nick under his wing, offering him a job and a chance to turn his life around. Despite Sam's unwavering support, Nick's ties to the local and his own weakness ultimately led him back into darkness. When Brother Sam was shot in his garage, Dexter initially suspected the local. However, the evidence pointed instead to Nick, whose involvement in confronting Nick at the very beach when Nick was baptized. Dexter wrestled with honoring Sam's dying witness, forgiveness. For a moment, it was possible, but Nick's arrogance was in the light of the betrayal, and made him sacrifice to Dexter see red.
Nobody can do anything.
Overwhelmed by rage, Dexter tackled Nick into the waters of this game bay, drowning him. Once again, Dexter let his emotions take over, abandoning his usual kill ritual and giving in to his dark instincts. This was symbolized by the visions of his brother, Brian Moser, clapping in approval. I was actually quite upset when Sam died. I mean, I felt like he was Dexter's first true friend. Next step marked a turning point for Dexter, a brutal reminder of how far he had strayed from the life that Sam had urged him to embrace, leaving behind a void that would haunt him long after. The next name on Dexter's list was Dave Shadow, who became the target of Dexter's wrath, marking an unusual departure from his code. Norm operated out of the Shady Lane Motel in Nebraska, where Dexter stayed during his road trip to try and find Jonah. Initially, Norm came off as a nosy but harmless figure, but his greed soon revealed a more side. Dexter's first encounter with Norm was over a flat tire. The situation escalated when Norm stole Dexter's tools, including his knives. When Confronted, Norm demanded $10,000 for the return of the stolen item.
We would definitely recommend Aceable.
It was so easy for me to just log on and start learning.
Anything you just wanted to store my phone, I knocked out a couple modules of Aceable instead.
Aceable made it really simple. I was able to stay up to date on all his progress.
Parent to parent, I can't think of an easier way to teach someone to drive.
Now that I have my license, I feel safe and confident on the road.
Get started today. Visit aceable.com.
You know what? Let me stop trolling with this kid.
Unaware who Dexter was,
Come here, shit.
he encountered her deadly when Norm
Come here,
had
shit.
stolen
Let me predictable.
advantage of the moment. Dexter impaled
Where he goes for a side jump?
by his dark urges
He
and
goes
the
for another?
imagined influence of Brian Posey. Unable to gain access to the ocean, Dexter nearby playing silence, watching his body vanish. One step symbolized Dexter's return to her home, a chilling reminder how unlimited it can become without structure or a guided but when the most annoying and random thing in the show was a fervent visible of the truth. Steve, alongside apocalyptic blog, it blind faith and willingness to kill made him a dangerous opponent, which resulted in the murder of Holly Vincent. Steve's devotion used his team for Travis and Beth, proving their commitment by taking part in Holly's gruesome murder. Well, hesitant at first, Steve ultimately stabbing Holly and Travis slashing his throat. Left Yacht to clean up, Steve donned a hazmat suit to prepare the next step in Travis's plan. It was here that Dexter, leaving Steve and Travis, was confronting them. In the tense, chaotic struggle that followed, Dexter stabbed Steve in the chest, realizing two things that he had to
Dude, look, I full piece the shit out of it! Look at that piece, that was disgusting. He was lost in the sauce. He had like 3 walls and he got that looking pig.
Frustrated by the mistake, Dexter discovered the chemicals for the deadly poison gas, prompting him to anonymously alert authorities to the yacht. Steve's death highlighted the far-reaching influence of Travis's delusion, using Dexter to stop bringing the
Oh, I can't place the stairs! No, he's so lucky my stair didn't place. I was just looking at the fucking floor. Come here,
the next person
shit.
killed.
I was just looking at my blue fucking stair out.
Alongside her husband, Steve, Beth had embraced Travis's delusion, becoming a critical pawn in his plan to this wormwood attack on my homicide. Beth killed him with gas penis, disguised in a backpack, with Agent Batista's stolen key card, she bypassed security and never failed to meet Divine's mission. However, Dexter, having connected the dots between her and Steve, recognized her as a threat, just as she prepared to detonate her. By a split second, shoved that lemon. Charging aside, Beth succumbed to her own weapon and sent the fumes. Well, Dexter held the door, ensuring the deadly gas didn't spread while ordering the evacuation. Let's Dex on the unraveling of Travis's wormwood plan and highlight Dexter's quick thinking under her next pregnant. Beth getting this close to causing catastrophic damage to Miami Metro. What? A villain that tried to Dexter killed in season 6 was a result of Travis in one way or another. And we see this again with Alberto, a human couple that replies to both. What? Alberto appeared to be a rescue called cargo boat pulled a stranded Dexter from the ocean after Travis left. However, his curator...
The pussy! Look, I'm gonna show this. Fuck! No, I'm gonna do that for real. I knew he was gonna do the edit, but I thought he was gonna fucking stare at me. He's better get cooked. He's better cook shit.
Tension escalated when Alberto threatened the woman with his weapon, pushing Dexter to make a decisive Dexter grabbed a
holy Clifton!
And instantly justice overriding his code. And once he was approached, he cast Alberto's lifeless body, destroying a fragile citizen. Dexter took control of the vessel, guiding it towards Miami shore, where the grateful passengers swarmed for freedom. While Alberto's death lacked Dexter's preparation, feel his capacity for improvisation in the face of immediate danger, and it also set the stage for the final killing of season 6. Dexter's final.
And the Christmas sale, all up to 90% off. This autumn sweatshirt set is only for $2.12. Super soft and fashionable. Available in colors. Download Tamu and browse now.
Travis Marshall. Doomsday Killer was absolutely badass. Travis had carried out brutal murders based on speculation. His ultimate plan, called the Lamb, was to sacrifice Dexter's son, Harrison, as part of his twisted vision of the apocalypse. The climax unfolded on top of Miami's Travis, holding Harrison, was moments away from giving him a ceremonial sword. Dexter arrived just in time, intending to surrender by injecting himself with a tranquilizer to gain Travis's trust. Travis came to realize that there was no when the moment was right, Dexter struck back, saving Harrison and capturing Travis. Dexter took Travis to the abandoned church where the killer there, he confronted Travis about using his faith to justify his acts.
I've known people who believe in God, but would never use their faith to
Finally, Dexter ended his life facing his back, but his victory came at a cost. Dexter's sister, Deborah, walked in just as he killed Travis. The moment that I think that everyone was waiting for the whole show. This shocking moment shattered the secrecy of Dexter's dark side, and forever changed, forcing Deborah to grapple with a horrifying truth about her brother. It created a rift of mistrust and fear, leaving their once bond hanging by a thread. Now, subscribing to think that season 6 was an unfortunate season. Victor Bascom, a high-ranking member of the Koshka Brotherhood, became entangled in Dexter's world after a violent incident that left a Miami detective dead. Victor's record evidence he murdered Detective Mike Anderson to cover up the killing of a stripper that he had allegedly dead. This impulsive act triggered a police investigation that
He got shit on. He got shit on! Shit on Nick's marks! The last one I knew he was taking it
tracked
serious.
Victor to Miami International Airport, where he was planning to flee the country. As Victor prepared to board his flight, Dexter
fucking obliterated me.
sedating him with a precise injection.
I should have warmed up before that kid, dude. Holy, that kid was a warm up.
Dexter wheeled the unconscious Victor into a baggage storage room, transforming it into a makeshift kill site. Bound to a table, Victor attempted to bargain for his life, offering money and power.
Is there anything I can do to keep you from killing me?
No.
Then get it over with.
Unmoved, Dexter explained the gravity of his crimes before bludgeoning him to death with a fire extinguisher. Empty body was disposed of in the ocean, ensuring that Victor's actions had a major impact, intensifying the reputation of Miami. One of the show's most underrated characters. That person Dexter in my opinion, the best side villains of the show was the sadistic ritual while stalking women, a self-constructed maze, while donning a horned helmet, a grotesque homage to his traumatic